Hersam Acorn newspapers, publishers of the Greenwich Post, New Canaan Advertiser, the Darien Times, the Ridgefield Press, the Weston Forum, the Wilton Bulletin, the Reading Pilot, the Lewisboro Ledger, the Monroe Courier, the Eastern Courier, the Trumbull Times, Fairfield Sun, Shelton Herald, the Stratford Star, the Milford Mirror, and the Valley Gazette.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com. The leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.
This is your coffee break on HANradio.com.
It's Friday, May 8th, and this is your coffee break coming to you live on HANradio.com and live streaming on the HAN network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, here with John Kovach and Donald Eng. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Kate.
Well, we have a lot. That was great. I'm sorry. You guys, I just jinxed. It was great. I like that you said it at the same time. We have lots of news coming out of southwestern Connecticut today, including the sentencing of a Sandy Hook denier and a man exposing himself to visitors at a state park. So we're going to get to that and a lot more later in the show. We're going to have Terry Wilcox of the Bridgeport Rescue Mission on to talk with us.
Yeah, he's going to talk about a way that you can double up your donations to the Bridgeport Rescue Mission all during the month of May and about the work that they do. And it's great to have him on at a time like this when it's something good, because the last time we had him on was after they had been broken into.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
And the freezer left open.
Right. But first, Donald Eng, what's happening on the roads?
It's actually pretty quiet out there right now. We have roadwork in orange on the Parkway southbound at exit 59. That's going on today until 3 with the left lane closed. Also, the Bridgeport-Trumbull line, Route 8 south between exits 8 and exit 1 until 3 o'clock. The left lane closed there. And finally, Hartford 91 northbound at exit 33 until 2:40. According to the state, the right lane closed there. Checking the weather, sunny day today, high near 80. Areas of fog tonight after 2 a.m., otherwise increasingly cloudy with a low around 57. Foggy tomorrow before 8, then mostly cloudy, about 68 degrees for a high, and early drizzle, but gradual clearing into a mostly sunny Mother's Day, eventually hitting 80 degrees. Right now it is 67 and sunny outside our Shelton studios. 73 in Ridgefield, a brisk 57 on the water in Fairfield. Your coffee break time is 11:03.
All right, John, what's happening in the news this morning?
Well, Kate, a 62-year-old Stratford woman was killed in a crash on Route 8 South in Shelton yesterday afternoon that closed the highway for much of the afternoon, according to state police. Police said 62-year-old Caroline Walls was driving on Route 8 North between the exit 13 on and off ramps when she lost control of her car, entered the median, hit a guardrail, crossed into the southbound lanes, and hit another car. Walls was taken to Bridgeport Hospital, where she later died, state police said. The other driver sustained minor injuries and was taken to St. Vincent's Medical Center. Both sides of the highway were briefly closed while an accident reconstruction team responded to the scene. The southbound side was closed for significant longer, with traffic diverted at exit 14 during the investigation, which continues today.
Thanks, John. Well, the State Department of Energy and Environmental Protection is warning people about a troubling incident in a state park, a man exposing himself to park visitors. DEP officials say several incidents in the last few days have been reported at Southford Falls State Park. That is in both Oxford and Southbury. The man is described as a short man, around 50 years old and having dirty blonde hair. Officials are putting out a warning about the man in hope that he will be apprehended. Southbound Falls is a popular park that includes meadows, a pond, woods, a cascading waterfall, and covered bridge. So we'll look for any updates on that. John?
Well, most Shelton bear sightings in recent days have been in the Old Stratford Road and Long Hill Crossroad areas near the city's eastern border. Other sightings have been reported in parts of the Huntington neighborhood, the western part of the city, and it's leading experts to wonder, are there two different bears in Shelton? Teresa Gallagher, the city's conservation agent, told the Shelton Herald that's what she thinks. It would just make sense. There is no doubt that a bear has been traversing areas near Route 8 in the southeastern part of Shelton in recent days, with multiple sightings, some by Shelton police officers and officials from the State Department of Energy and Environmental Protection in that part of town. That includes Daybreak Lane, a road off Old Stratford Road, and Long Hill Cross Road. But is there another bear in the area of Waverly Road and Adams Drive, which is about 3 miles west of the other locations? These separate sightings have occurred somewhat close in time to each other, and there are many main roads between locations, so officials say it's unlikely the same bear has been traveling between these locations. I would have to say so. It would have to be quite quick to cover those 3 miles. Teresa Gallagher, who is conservation agent for Shelton, noted that bears are usually just traveling through Shelton, so it's possible the bear seen in the Waverly Road, Adams Drive, Tower Lane area may be elsewhere by now. The bear observed on Daybreak Lane in recent days has a visible gash in its hind quarter, and that physical characteristic might help officials conclude whether there's one bear or two.
It's like the Great
in
Outdoors.
Shelton.
Yes,
Remember
it
that?
really is.
It is a nasty looking injury. I would not be
the
surprised
poor
if it got hit
bear.
by a vehicle.
Yeah.
The way that it almost made
Poor
it
thing.
across, and you can see it now up if you're looking at the streaming video.
The gratuitous
it
bear butt
really
reference.
looks to
I know
me
I can
like
make a bad joke about the Charmin bears right now, but it just looks very painful.
it doesn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's getting around well,
Yeah.
or as well as you can.
As well as you could with.
All right. Well, in other news,
Anyway.
the 30-year-old Wallingford man accused of making harassing phone calls to Sandy Hook Elementary School was given a 6-month suspended sentence with 2 years probation by Superior Court Judge Robin Pavia after he pleaded guilty to 5 counts of second-degree harassment and 1 count of disorderly conduct, according to the Connecticut Post. The judge also ordered him to have no further contact with anyone at the school. Rogalski said, "I don't think what I did was so horrible." He said that in an earlier court hearing. He contended that the December 2012 massacre of 20 children and 6 educators at the former Newtown school didn't happen. Police said the secretary at the new Sandy Hook school in Monroe received a series of telephone calls from a man who mocked the victims of the fatal shootings by Adam Lanza and went on to say, "Aren't you suspicious about the whole thing?" Police said they traced the calls to Rogalski's Franklin Street, Wallingford home. When he answered the door, police said he immediately blurted, "This is because I called the school." Rogalski rambled the entire way to the Monroe Police Department, according to police, about how he believed the Sandy Hook shootings was a conspiracy, along with other conspiracies such as the Aurora, Colorado shootings, the Boston Marathon bombing, and the moon landing. At one point, police said Rogalski accused the officers in the car of being within government agency and that we were going to take him to a field and shoot him, police said.
They are. It's
Well, I was
called
going to
the
say, yes,
police.
they are with a government agency. The police department is an agency of the Monroe government. He's also wrong, by the way, in his opinion that he didn't do anything terrible. Yes, he actually did. Hate to be the one to
Poor
break that to
people at
him.
that school. It's terrible.
And it's just taken, these conspiracy theories have just taken on such a life of their own.
And, you know, we see them coming a lot from out of state in other countries, but it was even more disturbing to see someone who lives in Connecticut commit one of those crimes, because we've been seeing it a lot with people who have never been here and, you know, weren't around the terrible day that happened.
Yeah. In other news, a University of Bridgeport women's soccer player who police said headbutted teammates in anger after not receiving a good sportsmanship award, this according to the Connecticut Post,
You can't make it
is
up.
on her way back to England after being granted special probation over the objections of one of her teammates who was headbutted in the face. Danielle Puttafoot was granted accelerated rehabilitation by State Superior Court Judge Robin Pavia under accelerated rehabilitation, which is a program for nonviolent offenders. Puttafoot, a 22-year-old forward on the Purple Knights, did not plead guilty to the charges against her of third-degree assault and disorderly conduct, but was placed on 1 year of probation. If she commits no other crimes in the United States during that time, the charges against her will be dismissed and expunged. Pavia ordered Puttafoot to do 100 hours of community service in her home country of England and to have no other contact with the teammate who she headbutted. Police said Puttafoot charged fellow player Haley Marquise headbutting her in the face before being restrained by other players. During the hearing, according to the Connecticut Post, Assistant State's Attorney Tatiana Messina told the judge that 18-year-old Marquise opposed the granting of AR to Put-a-Foot in favor of a harsher penalty. According to reports, several players told them they had been drinking on April 30th prior to the sports awards banquet at UB. During the banquet, player Nicola Worthington received a Coach's Player Award, which upset Put-a-Foot, who police said began complaining that she was a senior and hadn't won any awards in her 4 years on the team. Police said Put-a-Foot, who other players described as being, quote, very drunk, unquote, left the banquet early. Then when several other team members went to Seeley Hall, a dorm, to continue the celebration, she later entered the room, began berating them, and then headbutted Marquise, police said, with such force that it knocked the girl over 2 chairs and onto the floor. She then began slamming her own head against the wooden wardrobe closets in the room, and when a player tried to stop her, Put-a-Foot shoved that girl into a wall, police said. Teammates finally got her into the hallway. She then began slamming her head against doors and concrete walls until she passed out. Police said Marquise, who had significant swelling on the right side of her face along with 2 black eyes, was taken to St. Vincent's Medical Center.
Now, John, I've been a newspaper editor for going on 20 years now, and the state is clearly using a definition of the term nonviolent that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, my understanding
Is
of
that
the English language is that violent would probably... that would probably include
headbutting and causing
say.
2 black eyes and then shoving someone else. That I don't claim to know the definition of every word in the dictionary, so it's possible that somehow that qualifies as nonviolent.
You have to think the judge is just like, let's get her back to England and
just get out of my
let it
country.
all
Is essentially what he was saying, I think.
As a UB alum, wore my purple today too. Don, what's new on the roads for those wanting to get out of the country?
Yes. On the roads, not too much new there. We've got roadwork I-91 northbound in Hartford at exit 33 until 240 with the right lane closed. Also, Route 72 eastbound in the vicinity of exit 9, there's roadwork until 315. Expect lane closures. They're also still blasting on I'm drawing a blank. Interstate 84 in Waterbury, so expect periodic lane closures there. As far as the weather goes, sunny day today, high near 80. Areas of fog tonight after 2 a.m., otherwise increasingly cloudy with a low around 57. Areas of fog early tomorrow, then mostly cloudy with a high of 68. And drizzle early, but gradually clearing to a mostly sunny Mother's Day, eventually hitting 80 degrees. Right now, it is 75 degrees and sunny outside our Ridgefield studios, 67 and sunny where we are in Shelton, and 57 on the water in Fairfield. Your coffee break time is 11:13.
Thanks, Don. Well, when we come back, you're going to take a look back on this day in history, and we're also going to get the latest on high school sports. So that's coming up on your coffee break.
Your child has fallen and broken his arm. You need to see an orthopedist fast. Think Coastal Ortho Express in Norwalk. Don't wait hours in the ER. Save a trip and money by going straight to an orthopedic specialist at Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care in Norwalk. No appointment necessary. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, 203-845-2070. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or call 203-845-2070. Fast.
Spring is finally in the air, and our favorite season is upon us. The Dock Shop is all geared up with a great selection of fishing tackle, custom fishing rods, and all the latest accessories to replenish your tackle box. The Dock Shop has also just brought out the newest spring fashion apparel from Montauk Tackle, Altered Latitudes, Kaylee Smith, and Margaritaville Apparel. Need some new foul weather gear for those chilly spring mornings? The Dock Shop is loaded up with Grundens and Stormer in a variety of styles and sizes. Ladies, we've got you covered as well with spring apparel and the newest designs of coastal jewelry, bags, and accessories. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, Connecticut. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate roadshows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com.
It's 11:17 on your coffee break, presented by Stratford Orthodontics. Kate Czaplinski with John Kovach and Donald Eng, who is going to take a look back.
We are going to take a look back, a momentous day from 70 years ago, but we're going to start a little bit before that. 1794. A Frenchman, Antoine Lavoisier, executed by guillotine. He was the chemist that, among other things, discovered oxygen. Branded a traitor during the Reign of Terror by the revolutionists, Lavoisier, who was also a tax collector, is tried, convicted, and guillotined all in the same afternoon. Moving forward a little bit, 1886, pharmacist and former Confederate officer John Pemberton first sells a carbonated beverage called Coca-Cola. It was originally sold as a patent medicine, and unlike most patent medicines, which cured only sobriety, Coca-Cola actually worked because it was marketed as a cure for fatigue. This saying was, if you feel run down and exhausted, have a Coca-Cola. 1961, New Yorkers select a new name for their new National League baseball team. Among the finalists were the Bees, the Burros, the Continentals, the Skyscrapers, Skyliners, and the Jets, as well as the eventual runners-up, Empires and Islanders. Although the team owner had a preference for the name Meadowlarks, they ultimately selected Mets because it closely related to the club's already existing corporate name, the New York Metropolitan Baseball Club, and it harkened back to the Metropolitans, a team used by an earlier New York team in the American Association, and because the four-letter name would fit perfectly into newspaper headlines. That, by the way, is Frank Thomas, Gil Hodges, Don Zimmer, and Roger Craig, if you're watching on the HAN network.
Metsies.
And finally, 70 years ago today, there was this.
Throughout the world, throngs of people hail the end of the war in Europe. It is 5 years and more since Hitler marched into Poland. Years full of suffering and death and sacrifice. Now the war against Germany is won. A grateful nation gives thanks for victory. Hundreds of thousands crowd into American churches to give thanks to God. President Truman announced the official surrender.
This is a solemn but glorious hour. I wish that Franklin D. Roosevelt had lived to see this day. General Eisenhower...
That, of course, World War II, VE Day. Combat ends in Europe with the unconditional surrender of the German forces. Spontaneous celebrations break out all over the world, including Times Square, as we saw there. The war would continue for about another few months until the Japanese surrender in August. We'll probably have something about that coming up in August. And that's your look back in history for today, May 8th.
Thanks, Don. Rob Adams joining us with sports. A real thriller last night in Ridgefield. we're getting spoiled with these close games.
Always like the close games. That was a good one last night, as indeed in overtime, Ridgefield survives. Of course, we had it right here on HANradio.com and streaming live along the Hersam Acorn Network, HAN. But Staples comes back and gets the lead. Ridgefield comes back with just 5 seconds left and ties it up. It was a game of runs, 5-1 up early for the Tigers. Then the Wreckers come back, and as I said, the tying goal with just a few seconds remaining in double overtime. It's the Tigers who get the win. On the girls' side, the big game of the night was Darien and New Canaan, and it was the Blue Wave getting the win in that one as well. Some other things to look at as we move into this Friday. John Reesert, the head coach of the Fairfield Ludlow girls tennis team, won his 300th career victory when the Falcons improved to 13-0 on the season, a 7-0 victory over Stanford High in a match played in Fairfield. Fairfield Ward softball team upped its record to 10-5 with a 4-0 shutout of Brian McMahon. The Mustangs are 8-5 in the FCAC, while the Senators dropped to 3-11 overall. Rochelle Barone and Emma Houghton each had 2 hits, including a triple for Ward. Gabby Natoli pitched a 2-hitter with the Senators' Ariana D'Agostino notching a pair of singles. St. Joe's defeated Fairfield Ward 15-6 in boys lacrosse on Thursday. Peter Bashar scored 4 goals to lead the Cadets, now 7-3 on the season. Brendan King and Joe Potenza had 2 goals each for Ward. They fell to 4-6. St. Joe's girls tennis dropped a 4-3 decision to Danbury High. Ava Tompkins took the number 4 singles 6-4, 6-4, while Olivia Hensley and Lauren Hensley won at number 1 doubles 6-1, 6-1. Bunnell High lost to Weston High 13-5 in boys lacrosse on Thursday as Corey Otten scored 2 goals and 2 assists for the Bulldogs. Jason Bosiek had 2 goals and an assist. Stratford High boys lacrosse team traveled to Danbury on Thursday, took on a talented Immaculate High boys lacrosse team, and the Mustangs improved to 8-3 with an 18-4 SWC victory. Foreign High girls lacrosse visited Shelton High and lost a 14-6 decision to the Gales, who improved to 7-2. Julia Astrom scored 3 times. Evan Knutson had 3 assists for the Lions. They are now 2-7 on the year. Busy schedule today, including softball right here on HANradio.com. St. Joe's and Trumbull, we'll have it for you. I'll have the play-by-play pregame show, 3:50, 3:55-ish. We're off and running. First pitch at 4. Other softball games: Trinity Catholic at Danbury, New Canaan home for Staples, Ridgefield at Bassick, Greenwich is at Darien, and Ludlow at Norwalk. To the Diamond baseball, Greenwich and Darien, interesting matchup there. Of course, the Blue Wave really having a wonderful season. The Cardinals kind of hanging on. West Hill and Central as well. New Canaan is at Staples. That's a good matchup as well. Ridgefield home for Bassick, Norwalk at Ludlow, Trumbull at St. Joe's, and Danbury at Trinity Catholic. Some girls lacrosse action: Wilton at St. Joe's, Ridgefield and Stamford, Weston at Norwalk, and Darien is at Farmingdale, New York, and on Long Island at 7 o'clock. Loucks games are at White Plains High School and boys and girls track and field at 4. Bullard Havens Tech is at Harding and Bassick in girls tennis, and Trumbull takes on Newtown. Boys volleyball, Bassick at Harding, and New Canaan at the Ward Ludlow Co-op, St. Joe's at Staples, Danbury at Trumbull. We have girls lacrosse tomorrow, Longmeadow, Massachusetts, and New Canaan. They will start things at noon. So busy times as always, and of course that's May for you. With sports, I'm Rob Adams. Coffee break time, 11:24.
Thanks, Rob. It is 11:24. We've got a guest coming up. You want to take a quick look at the roads and then step out? So,
okay, well, the only thing new in the last few minutes on the state DOT is we have an accident in Hartford, 91 North, right before exit 29. That's on 91 northbound. That exit 29 is the exit you would take to get onto Route 15 north. That's causing about a 2-mile backup, and combined with the road work and lane closure there, that is an area you're going to want to avoid. As far as the weather goes, sunny day today, foggy tonight, and cloudy. Tomorrow, foggy early, then mostly cloudy, high of 68, and a drizzly morning, and then a sunny afternoon on Sunday, Mother's Day, eventually hitting 80 degrees. Coffee break time is 11:24.
Thanks, Don. Well, when we come back, we're going to have a couple guests from the Bridgeport Rescue Mission. Excited about that. So that's coming up right after this break.
It's Lots of Characters, specializing in children's birthday parties with your child's favorite characters. When you want to party hardy, when you need to celebrate, call us, we won't be late. We help create lasting memories for you and your child on their special day. Call us at 203-590-1791 or visit our website at lotsofcharacters.org for more information and to see our party packages. Lots of Characters, 203-590-1791 or online at lotsofcharacters.org.
Located in the heart of picturesque downtown Ridgefield at 13 Governor Street, Colby's is the area's premier retailer for blinds, shades, shutters, and draperies, and is one of the select few Hunter Douglas Gallery dealers. A family-owned and operated company, Colby's experienced staff will work with you in choosing the best treatments for your home or office and offer free measuring and expert installation. Colby's also carries an extensive line of decorative fabrics including Schumacher, Durley, Tebow, and more. Or browse over 400 books in our wallpaper library from famous designers such as Stroheim, Schumacher, Ralph Lauren, Tebow, and York. Take advantage of our Fashion in Motion savings event with savings and rebates on Hunter Douglas shades with Power Rise technology. Colby's of Ridgefield. We are committed to your complete satisfaction. 203-438-8531.
Spring is finally in the air and our favorite season is upon us. The Dock Shop is all geared up with a great selection of fishing tackle, custom fishing rods, and all the latest accessories to replenish your tackle box. The Dock Shop has also just brought out the newest spring fashion apparel from Montauk Tackle, Altered Latitudes, Kaylee Smith, and Margaritaville Apparel. Need some new foul weather gear for those chilly spring mornings? The Dock Shop is loaded up with Grundens and Stormer in a variety of styles and sizes. Ladies, we've got you covered as well with spring apparel and the newest designs of coastal jewelry, bags, and accessories. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, Connecticut. Visit us at dockshop.com.
It's easy to advertise on hanradio.com, reach 263,000 listeners each month with our sports programming and talk programming. Call Mary Ann Hersam at 203-417-5199.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
You're listening to Hersam Acorn Radio.
Welcome back to your coffee break. 11:29 on this Friday, May 8th, and we are being joined by Terry Wilcox, Executive Director of the Bridgeport Rescue Mission. He has brought a guest with him. I'll allow you to do that introduction. But Terry's here because the Rescue Mission is the beneficiary of a matching challenge. Anonymous donors, 3 of them, have contributed a total of $100,000. And they have challenged people to match that by May 31st. Terry, thanks for coming back on Coffee Break. Tell us a little bit about the matching challenge.
Well, it's good to be here, and we're excited about the matching challenge because we've done this 3 or 4 years in a row now, and every year we've had some donors. I think first time was $75,000, and the donors in the greater Bridgeport area exceeded that. So then we go back to these donors and we say, look what we did with your money. And so they went to 90 last year, and this year 100, and we're on our way. I just came from the doctor's office. I was at one of my doctors this morning, was telling him a little bit. He pulled out his checkbook, went out of the office, came back with his personal checkbook, and wrote a $100 check to get in on the matching challenge this morning.
I like going to the doctors and leaving with money. That never works out for me.
First time it's ever happened to me.
But that's great. Now, and that's kind of a testament to the work done by the Bridgeport Rescue Mission. Tell us about your programs.
Well, we have several different programs. We're noted for our feeding. We give away almost 450,000 meals a year. We do 3 meals a day at our main campus. We have 2 mobile kitchens that are out about 10 times a week. We take food service down to South Norwalk. We give away food pantry bags every weekday. Thanksgiving time, we give out over 3,000 families with frozen turkey and food. So we're noted for that. We also give away tens of thousands of pieces of free clothing. And housing, we have emergency shelter for women with children, and for men. But I think the jewel of our program is what we call our New Life program, which is a recovery program for the addicted. And we have 2 divisions, the men and women. And James, who's with me this morning, is one of the students at the New Life program.
Welcome, James.
James been with us over 5 months now, and has done extremely well. He's born in Bridgeport and raised in Norwalk, right? And he's kind of excited because he's had some great news this week.
Yes. Share it with us if you don't mind.
Good morning. Well, I've recently had a great opportunity extended to me to become a custodian with Black Rock Congregational Church in Fairfield.
Oh, awesome.
With full-time benefits and many more advantages to being staffed there, from tuition reimbursement, life insurance, and things like that. I'm just excited about the opportunity that just the curriculum here at the New Life Discipleship program has allowed me to take clinical information and combine it with biblical wisdom and go ahead and look forward to be strengthened against addiction and alcoholism. Yeah.
Now, James, how did you find out about the program, or how did you get involved?
Weird enough, I went through a process of going to a program, and the clinicians there felt like I didn't need extended level of care and to go to a sober house, but I put in for maybe 15 or 16 sober houses while I was in Norwich, and Bridgeport Rescue Mission was the only place that had an available bed at the time of my commencement. And then here I am, thank you.
Meant to be.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
It sounds like the program really has made a difference in your life.
Absolutely. From going from serving the needy and the homeless to serving staff members who actually do all this work together to keep a roof over our head, food in our mouth, and to be able to serve my brothers who I actually been serving all this time with has prepared me for the next stage of advancement to this job.
That's awesome. Terry, do you find that a lot of people who are helped by the Bridgeport Rescue Mission come out with the same desire to pay it forward that I see in James?
It's one of the great things that blesses all of us, encourages us, because we see a lot of that. We have one fellow who completed the program about 11 years ago, and for 10 consecutive years he comes in every month and is a volunteer at the mission. And we have dozens of people like that, serving others. And oftentimes that's part of the life turnaround for them, because it's where you begin to rebuild a sense of self-worth and begin to respect yourself again. And oftentimes we find people who are pretty, they've tried and failed so many times that it's like, I'm going to try again, but I don't really think, But when they start getting engaged in serving other people, there's an incredible turnaround. And I think it's one thing that's going on across our country, is many people are finding that when they engage in serving others, they find a level of fulfillment and success and happiness that you can't find elsewhere.
I think we're missing a sense of community and interaction with others, and that's creating some of these voids. And work like that done by the Bridgeport Rescue Mission is a way of filling that void. Would you agree?
I agree. I definitely do. It's definitely a lifestyle change for me. Just going out on the RVs to different residencies that I frequented before coming to Christ. And this is an opportunity to give back, and I see familiar faces, or people recognize me, and they're recognizing me in a new light. So I definitely appreciate what's going on.
When you're giving away 450,000 meals a year, and you only have a staff of about 30 people, you realize that there's a lot of volunteers that help make that happen. But also, all the students in the New Life program are engaged in different areas of serving. And so oftentimes they're putting together the pantry bags with all the food. They're recording who's coming in and keeping track of that. They're handing it out. They're helping people carry it out. And they're out on our mobile kitchens with the hot meals, serving them. They're sorting the clothes that we give away. And so they're very much not only hands-on, but face-to-face with other people in need, and they're helping them. And my father-in-law was a pastor for 58 years. And I remember several things that he used to say, but one that stuck with me for all these years is you cannot outgive God. Amen. And his idea was that when you're giving, you're getting back more than you're giving. And I certainly have found that to be true in my life. And I marvel time and time again when I hear guys like James that will come in the program and you mean I have to do this? And then, you know, a few weeks later, you come by when they're doing it and they're smiling and they're engaged with people and they're having a good time.
Right. Is that how you were?
Well, that happens. I've seen it from a different standpoint. I was looking for how, how can I find God in cleaning these showers or, and these toilets and things like that. But that kept me from being disgruntled or bitter and being able to have an appreciative and gratifying attitude about this. So definitely, I definitely can appreciate, finding God in all of these different things.
There's something to be said for hard work too. I mean, kind of takes you away from yourself and your own problems, So I think that's a really amazing part of the program.
Yeah. And all this, it takes money too. So the month of May is a time when income is usually low. And a few years ago, we had some major donors who said, hey, we'll match whatever people give. And so I oftentimes say to people, like now on the air, you could double your money right now. You give us $50, it turns into $100.
And how can the donor do that? How can they support that?
Quite easily. BridgeportRescueMission.org. Go online, BridgeportRescueMission.org. Follow the steps for safe, easy, secure donation. Or you can mail it in to Bridgeport Rescue.
Knowing that it's going to be doubled, and it's going to help success stories like James here. I'm proud of you. Good luck with the job. Good luck keeping going.
Amen.
Great job so far. Terry, thank you so much for coming in and helping us out.
Thank you.
We will be back with more Coffee Break right after this.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Did you know that taking dance lessons is a great date night idea? Arthur Murray Grand Ballroom of Greenwich is a fabulous place to learn to dance and meet new people. Located at 6 Lewis Street, our studio is staffed with professional instructors ready to teach you salsa, waltz, rumba, hustle, tango. There's a dance for every season. And we are rated #1 on the Knot.com. We are the wedding dance specialists. Take advantage of our new student offer, only $49. Call 203-769-1800. Visit us online at arthurmurraygreenwich.com.
This year, 3,000 Connecticut women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. Hersam Acorn is a proud sponsor of the Komen Connecticut Race for the Cure. Help make an impact in the local fight against breast cancer by joining us on May 9th in Westport at Sherwood Island. With your help, Komen Connecticut invests in local breast cancer programs, helping local women beat breast cancer. Visit KomenCT.org to register, volunteer, or donate today. We race for Connecticut. Why will you race?
It's easy to advertise on HANradio.com, reach 263,000 listeners each month with our sports programming and talk programming. Call Mary Ann Hersam at 203-417-5199.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com.
All right, it's 11:41 on your coffee break, presented by Stratford Orthodontics. I'm Kate Czaplinski in the Shelton studio with John Kovach and Donald Eng. That was a great discussion with Terry and James from the Bridgeport Rescue Mission.
It really was, and to have somebody like James, who's been through their programs and benefited from it, puts a face on what you're giving. You're not just writing a check to a building in Bridgeport. You're writing a check to a program that makes a difference in people's lives.
Definitely. Well, Don, any changes on the road since we last checked?
Just a few, actually. We have delays now in Waterbury, 84 eastbound, a quarter mile past exit 20. That due to the blasting of the rock face there. That should continue for another few days. Also, we have a crash in Hartford, 91 north, right at exit 29. That, combined with the road work at exit 29, has traffic backed up for a few miles. Checking the DOT cameras, you're going to want to avoid the area if you can. Also, roadwork in Bridgeport, Route 8 south at exit 8 until 3 o'clock today. The left lane closed there. And finally, in Orange, Parkway south at exit 58 until 3, the left lane closed there. Taking a look at the weather, sunny day today, high near 80. Foggy tonight, otherwise increasingly cloudy with a low of 57. Tomorrow, foggy early, then mostly cloudy with a high of 68. And a drizzly morning, and then a gradually clearing sunny Sunday, Mother's Day, eventually hitting 80 degrees. Right now, it is a brilliantly sunny 70 degrees outside our Shelton studio, 77 in Ridgefield, and 60 degrees in Fairfield. Your coffee break time is 11:42.
Thanks, Don. Speaking of traffic, there will be a lot of cars heading out of Golden's Bridge, the Lewisboro area, in the near future, as the owner of Estate Motors has confirmed to the Lewisboro Ledger that the business will be moving out of town. Chris Bonanno, whose father founded the Mercedes-Benz dealership in Golden's Bridge more than 50 years ago, told the Ledger he will have an announcement about exactly where the dealership will be moving by the end of summer. He also said he has a buyer lined up for the property being vacated in Golden's Bridge. Question is when and where they move. This is the culmination of years of friction, according to the Ledger, between Estate Motors and the hamlet of Lewisboro. And I did remember to use the term hamlet as used in New York. Fines and changes, and it just, Estate Motors has now decided to find a new place to set up.
I was about to say toil and trouble there, but that actually would not have been Hamlet, so sorry about that.
No, that would not have been Hamlet. No, it would not.
My high school English career was a very long time ago.
Apparently so.
Anyway, packages left outside a Darien resident's front doorstep was pilfered, opened, and in one case emptied, police said. The resident, a 38-year-old woman, told police she'd seen 2 packages on her doorstep at 5 Friday evening, May 1st, but didn't bring them inside. Then when she went to go get them, the packages had vanished. The woman reported that she found the packages the next day dumped in a vacant lot nearby. One of them had contained a pair of Under Armour sneakers valued at $54.99. The shipping box had been opened and its contents stolen. The second box contained some plants, although police had no further details on what type of plants. The box also had been opened, but the thief or thieves appear to have been uninterested and left the plants behind.
Another police story that just got posted just before we came on the air, Kate, out of Darien, this by Aaron Marsh. After being missing for 4 days, a Darien woman's wheelchair showed up Tuesday afternoon, April 28th, at the intersection of Middlesex and Saddle Ridge roads. The wheelchair was taken from the Avalon Apartments on Hollow Tree Ridge sometime Friday, April 24th. The 38-year-old owner of the wheelchair had attempted to load it into a vehicle, but was unable to because of an equipment malfunction. She left the chair outside the next day. It was gone. Aaron writes that it remains unclear from police reports whether the Sunrise Medical Quickie wheelchair is power or manual, but it's valued at $2,500, and police had no further information about the condition of the wheelchair when it was recovered.
All right, thanks, John. Well, some more police news out of Darien. Someone apparently rifled through 3 cars left unlocked last Friday night. Police said the residence is on Settlers Trail. 3 vehicles there were left unlocked in the driveway at the home. The Hyundai's owner, a 47-year-old woman, returned to the car the next morning and found that it and other vehicles had been entered. Police reported items were strewn about inside all the vehicles, police said, but the only item found to be missing was a GPS that was taken from the Hyundai. That was valued at $150. And we've said it before and we'll say it again, lock your cars.
Saw that warning from another municipality the other day, too.
It's just such a common crime. I mean, keep your valuables out of sight and lock your cars.
I mean, didn't your mom tell you to lock the car when you were getting out? That's
just saying.
If you're not going to listen to the police, at least listen to your mom.
So before we forget, we do have a full day coming up on hanradio.com. Behind the News next, and we'll be talking, among other things, about the brewing political battle in Stratford involving the sale of the water pollution control plant. And the petition that was submitted and summarily rejected by the town. And then that's at noon, Radio Arts and Leisure at 1. And then, Rob, girls softball at 4. St. Joe's at Trumbull. I'm getting the thumbs up, which means either I'm right or take a hike.
You're out. You're out of here.
Hit the showers. In other news, the New Canaan Board of Selectmen unanimously voted Tuesday to suspend parking enforcement officer Lisa Pia for 3 days without pay. After dealing with 3 relatively minor matters in 3 minutes, First Selectman Robert Malazzi III, Selectman Beth Jones, and Selectman Nick Williams took up the personnel matter of Pia, which, according to the agenda, quote, concerned the employment, performance, evaluation, or dismissal of a public official or employee, end quote. Selectmen and Pia all agreed to forego the public meeting and address the matter in an executive session, which was closed to the public. The public can only attend an executive session if invited. The press was asked to leave for the duration of that session, legal because it involved personnel matters. The executive session lasted a half hour before the meeting was reopened to the public. There was a 3-0 vote to suspend Pia for 3 days without pay. It came in the wake of issues involving Pia and the parking department, according to Malazzi, who gave no further details. The suspension will put Pia's enforcement duties on hold, meaning one less officer enforcing parking regulations on New Canaan's crowded streets. Neither Pia nor selectmen would comment on specifics of the issues leading up to the suspension. Coffee break times 11:49.
Thanks, John. Well, a new National Park Service report shows that 34,083 visitors to the Ware Farm National Historic Site in 2014 spent $1.9 million in communities near the park. That spending supported 23 jobs in the local area and had a cumulative benefit to the local economy of $2.6 million. The peer-reviewed visitor spending analysis was conducted by the U.S. Geological Survey economists Catherine Cullinane Thomas and Christopher Huber and the National Park Service economist Lynn Kuntz. According to the 2014 report, most park visitors' spending was for lodging, about 30%, followed by food and beverages, 20%, gas and oil, about 11.9%, admissions and fees, about 10%, and souvenirs, just under 10%. The report includes information for visitor spending at individual parks and by state. To learn more about the national parks in Connecticut and the National Park Service, you can go to nps.gov/CT.
The state legislature is considering a bill that would regulate how homeowners display their house numbers. The bill was put forth by Democratic State Representative Lou Esposito of West Haven. Kate, this actually follows a law that New Canaan's had for must be 15 years at least that they did this, because I was still editor there. If adopted, the state law would mandate that house numbers be at least 3 inches high and of a color contrasting with the background on which they're posted, and it would require they be placed between 4 and 12 feet above the ground. This is so that emergency responders can readily find the house.
Yep.
New Canaan, it made a lot of sense because so many of the houses sit back off the road in the woods. Not a bad idea, actually. I'm not big on new laws, but that's not a bad idea.
Thanks, John. Well, the state issued more than 1,800 driver's licenses in the first 3 months of a program that allows people living in the state illegally to obtain driving privileges. The Republican American reports the program has also resulted in 9,100 learner's permits, and the department has scheduled nearly 46,000 appointments for testing. The legislature's budget office included the numbers in its analysis of a DMV request to shift funding within its budget to complete the program. Governor Daniel P. Malloy signed the law 2 years ago, but it did not go into effect until January 1st. It permits individuals living in Connecticut to obtain driver's licenses without having to provide legal documentation of their immigrant status.
Thanks, Kate. Just a reminder on an event that started last night, and this is the Play for Purpose 72-hour ice hockey marathon at the Winter Garden in Ridgefield. They're expecting 200 men and women ranging in age from 16 to 75 to play in this continuous game that's helping raise money to help local families in need of financial assistance due to illness. Proceeds also benefit numerous local and national charities such as the Molly Ann Tango Memorial Foundation, Connecticut Children's Medical Center, Maria Ferreri Children's Hospital, and Fisher House of Connecticut. Last May, and Rob Adams, Tom Prizeman, and I were there for the opening of the game. They raised $40,000. This year, the goal is $100,000. They had a silent auction and cocktail reception last night. Puck dropped at 9. Play continues through 7 o'clock Sunday. Among the items that were available, a New York Rangers jersey that was signed by the entire team and a stick signed by Captain Ryan McDonough. There is a Rangers alumni appearance tomorrow, along with an open skate, autographs, and a meet and greet. That is from 1 to 2:30. Scheduled to attend are former Rangers Andre Dory, Dave Maloney, Gilles Villemure, Mark Janssens, and Tom Laidlaw. And Rob, I really hope there aren't other Rangers available to attend this, because I'm hoping their schedule isn't totally freed up tonight in that crucial Game 5 at Madison Square Garden. Also tomorrow at the Winter Garden in Ridgefield, as part of Play for Purpose, the New York Rangers sled dog hockey game against the New Jersey Freeze. That's at noon. Pet partners, companion, service dogs will be on hand at 11:30. You can find out more at Facebook, Play for Purpose there, or playforpurpose.org. You can also donate via the website. Coffee break times 11:54.
Thanks, John. Well, I just read that the state issuing about 1,800 licenses to undocumented immigrants. Interesting, because the Connecticut Post just tweeted a story that Bridgeport's considering municipal IDs for undocumented immigrants, and that is going to get a boost from the new city budget. The city council, which is expected to finalize a 2015-16 budget over the weekend and vote on it Monday, is likely to place as much as $200,000 in reserve for a municipal identification program. The investment is considered revenue neutral on paper, meaning the program will ideally pay for itself by charging applicants around $35 for an ID card, so there is no need to make cuts in other city departments in order to include the $200,000 in the budget. There is still a lot of work the City Council and Mayor Bill Finch's administration would need to do to develop and launch such a program, but it would be joining other cities like New Haven, Hartford, and New York City, which have similar programs.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Yes. State Senator Tony Boucher, State Senator Tony Wong, and State Representative John Shaban plan to discuss the 2015 legislative session with the public Saturday from 10:30 to noon at Weston Town Hall. Public is invited. Check westonforum.com for details on that. Number of events this weekend, including the Komen Race for the Cure tomorrow at Sherwood Island. It's free fishing weekend, a number of things going on.
Yeah.
Or free fishing day. Let me clarify that.
Well, we should warn people today, if they are outside, that Connecticut's Department of Energy and Environmental Protection is forecasting unhealthy air quality for sensitive groups today. The unhealthy air quality is caused by elevated ground level ozone pollution for northern Fairfield, northern New Haven, Litchfield, Hartford, and Tolland counties. A forecast of unhealthy for sensitive groups indicates increased likelihood of respiratory symptoms and breathing discomfort in active children and and adults with respiratory disease such as asthma and the elderly. So just be careful today.
I like that term, sensitive groups. You know, like moms, maybe, who's people like that, sensitive groups.
Right. Don, anything change out there on the roads?
Not too much changing out on the roads. I'm just going to take a quick scan through the DOT there. The latest report is just that road work in Hartford, 91 northbound. The accident there earlier has been cleared, but we do have delays from the road work and the residual delays from the accident. Also delays in Waterbury, 84 eastbound, right at exit 20. That due to blasting the rock face there at the Route 8 and 84 intersections. That's about it as far as the roads. And as we've been saying, sunny day today. Not so much tomorrow, mostly cloudy, and a sunny day eventually on Sunday, Mother's Day. Coffee break time is 11:56.
Thank you, Don. That's going to do it for your coffee break this morning. When we come back, we'll be back with Behind the News at noon. Kate, joined by Josh Fisher. We will have Melvin Mason of the Stratford Star to talk about the petition drive and attempt to force a referendum on the water pollution control plant sale there in Stratford.
Yeah, he got some great video.
Yes, he did, as well as Greg Riley on a couple of items, and Dave Stewart. Thanks for listening.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com. The leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.
Want to get in touch with HAN Radio?